I think that the Job Corps office has learned a lot. I think the first thing is just around how important it is that opportunity youth, young people who are disconnected from our formal education system, have a quality learning and training place that they can go to. And so I think the role that Job Corps plays in like the holistic ecosystem of learning is very important. And so having those programs tailored to this population of young people is really important. Um, I think the team has also learned around just how important it is for those training programs to be successful, for them to be designed and created with the support and in alignment with industry. And so making sure that those training programs, in order for them to have good and strong outcomes for young people, that they are matching the needs of the local workforce system. And so that involves a lot of ways around partnering and thinking about what the needs are in a local community and aligning workforce training and at Job Corps to meet those needs. And so I think how they work with industry and employer partners is a big piece of that to develop the training. And then I think a third thing, and that's a lot of what they've been working on recently, is around the importance of being student-centered and being young person-centered. And so really thinking about how, over time, Job Corps can continue to become more of a place that is responsive to the needs of young people, and a place where young people are empowered to be leaders, and sort of co-create the space that is there. So I think learning how Job Corps can become more and more student-centered is a piece of that as well. Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things about Job Corps, is that it provides this wraparound services, this holistic sorts of services. And so I think part of that is necessity when you're serving young people who may be very transient, who may be aging out of foster care, who may have different barriers that are preventing them from being completely successful at home. So how do you have to recreate the holistic needs? So getting to work, having healthcare that you need so that you can be successful, having a safe place to sleep so that you can be prepared for your education and your learning, are all things that we know are essential, right, for young people to be successful. So I think to be that holistic residential education and training program is by design and necessity. We should go back to the early history to make sure I'm not misspeaking there, but yes. And there are a few campuses still in Job Corps that are not residential, a very small number of them, which offer a different sort of services and can meet the needs of different students. That's a great question. And I certainly would want to bring in some of the career staff, right, who've actually been operating the program for years and years and years. I think we always have some of the challenges, again, are the things that are most important, right? Making sure that we have those employer relationships, that the training programs match, and sort of keeping up with all of those changes is going to be one of those challenges. And I think that there are kind of the challenges that Job Corps continues to navigate in maintaining those welcome and safe spaces and being valued parts of community interventions and services for young people. So Job Corps is 121 campuses that are all operated independently. And so every campus is different, right? And so you have a national program that have a lot of different nuances from campus to campus. And so you have this sort of wealth of innovation, and then also the challenge, right, of managing every campus that is very different from one another. Mm-hmm. I mean, many of the measures of success are tied to the outcomes of young people. So but their placement in post-education programs, whether that's military service or registered apprenticeship programs or full-time employment in other places, college, et cetera. So the outcomes of success involve what are the outcomes of young people in the short term and in the medium term after they've left the Job Corps campus. And I think success is also measured in a lot of qualitative ways as well. I mean, in addition to the number of students served and their outcomes, there are the measures around sort of the quality of the programs and the experience that young people have on the campuses.
In
over 60 years? That's a great question. The sort of capacity of Job Corps is around 30 to 35,000 students across all of the campuses at once. Now, the number of students at any given time would fluctuate, so I think we'd have to do the math there, but that's a great question. Be there, for as long as up to 3 years, and it really varies by training program and sort of all of the different things that the young person might be pursuing. Some young people are completing their high school equivalency at the same time as they're doing training programs, and some training programs are longer than others. So it's usually from 1 to 3 years would be the range.